Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to DealDriven Live, where we show you how to utilize our software along with answer any questions you might have about real estate investing. So if you would turn those cameras on, I would love to see y'all's beautiful faces. So just so you know, this is for DealDriven. At DealDriven, there may be people from many different programs, many different real estate investing training. So just kind of wanting to throw that out there. To give you an idea what we can cover is I can go over any questions you might have about wholesaling, flipping, subject twos, owner finance, sandwich lease options, and really how to use our DealDriven software to get you further along in your business. So the best way to do this is let's have a few volunteers and let's take a look at some good leads possibly for you to pull. Does anybody want to go ahead and volunteer? Raise your Zoom hand and I'll show you the best real estate investing lead sources in your area. Adam, if I don't get participation, I just call people out. How you doing, buddy?
Yes, I am. I'm good.
Good. So what type of investor are you?
I usually just look at anything, usually pre-foreclosures.
Okay. So
but I haven't had good luck with that yet.
You haven't? Okay. Where are you located?
I'm in New York, upstate.
Like Buffalo?
No, towards like the center, kind of like Syracuse, Albany.
Okay.
Middle of nowhere.
What's your back end strategy? Are you doing creative financing? Are you flipping?
Either wholesaling or fix and flip. I haven't got onto the creative yet.
Okay. So I'm going to look at Syracuse, New York. The reason I want to do this is, and I'm going to do a 20-mile search radius, is pre-foreclosures are a great lead source. But also, have you tried tired landlords?
Yeah, I've tried that too.
Okay. Another one would be vacant out-of-state owners. What are you doing to market to these people?
I usually just call them, and if they answer, then I do the whole script thing, and most of them they're not interested though.
Gotcha. I may want to say, like, when you're making these cold calls, really look at it that you're just trying to get an appointment to go see them. Don't try to over analyze the deal on the phone, because with it being such a relationship business, the first thing they should do is kind of get to know you, Adam. That might help you a little bit.
Yeah, I've ran into a lot of problems, like the numbers after you skip trace, a lot of them are no good anymore.
And that can happen. That can happen with your driving for dollar leads, or even your pre-foreclosure. Sending a letter with a handwritten envelope can also be a very good way to get in touch with people.
Yeah, I just got into like Vista Print and all that, doing my logo and trying to come up with strategy for mailers and stuff.
Perfect. I love it.
I started a business too, so
what's it called?
It's A&N Real Estate Investing LLC.
Oh, that's cute. Well, what's the N for? I'm sure it's Adam and
my fiance.
Okay, that's cool.
So I want her to be my agent someday. Depends.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, to every lead that you get, you should take her on an appointment, because even if it's not an investment lead for you, when you go on the appointment, it could be a great listing lead for her.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure to look at it from both ways. All right. Who would like me to go over their area and show you exactly what type of leads you should be pulling? Answer any questions. And guys, turn those cameras on. Y'all wake up. I know it's 2:00 in the afternoon. We've got to have some questions. I've done a little over 1,600 real estate transactions in my 10-year career. Hopefully I've got some answers for you. Nobody? Okay. Well, I'm going to start getting into showing you some things that the DealDriven software will do. Actually, we're going to talk about driving for dollars today and virtual driving for dollars. This became really useful during COVID whenever a lot of us weren't out and about, really. So the way I would start this is, number one, you're going to go to look up properties by GPS or address. I'm going to come over here and look up a city near me. I want to go to Gainesville, Georgia. Now, here's some good ways to look at good investment property areas. Generally, when I look up an area, it's going to put me in the city center of that particular town, which we don't want to be in. It's where the courthouse is, things like that. Also, notice the legend on the left-hand side. So if you're wholesaling, this is extremely useful. Anytime you're seeing large swaths of blue dots stand for non-owner occupied. So what would you think if you saw a bunch of blue dots? What do you think that area is good for? Anybody? You can unmute yourself. Essentially, when you're seeing a lot of blue dots, non-owner occupied means I own a property that I don't live in. So when I see a lot of blue dots, what this tells me is there's a lot of rentals here, meaning I'm seeing a high location of rentals, right? So if you're wholesaling, you might find this is a great area for you to invest in just because of that. Now, if you see lots of blue dots like near a beach, that's probably more like Airbnbs or vacation rentals. But in this particular town, I know that it's going to be rentals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to virtually drive up and down the street and see if I see anything. So I'm going to go virtually here. And we're going to just drive up and down the street. And I'm looking for properties that look like they might need some work. Thought about that one. That one looks pretty good. You can literally do this anywhere in the country. So instead of literally driving out somewhere, you could just travel up and down the roads to find that next good deal. You're looking for properties that need repairs. Maybe there's trash strewed everywhere. The yard's not in good shape. I'm going to try to find one for you guys. This is a good blue collar working class area with a good many rental houses in it. So any of these would be perfect to go after to make offers. Aha, let's look at this one. Does anybody notice anything about the side of this house?
Right, it needs to be replaced, paint, change.
Yes. So as I'm looking at this, I'm seeing this is not just bad paint. We've got some rotten boards here, hardy planks. Also, you'll notice around the windows, we've got rot around the windows. Take a look at the front of this house. But looks pretty good, right? But right from here, I can add it to my list and know exactly what there is about this property, okay? So you can go virtually driving for dollars down any street just about in America and go find your next good deal, because sometimes these properties aren't going to be on list, okay? So it's a good way to kind of get to know the area. All right, I see some hand raised. Donna.
Okay, my questions were just general questions. I threw up my hand when you were like right at the last minute, so I don't know if you want to continue what you're talking about.
Absolutely, I'd rather have an intuitive webinar instead. So I'd love your questions.
Okay, well, I'm just getting started using the software, and I've watched a bunch of the videos, but the people I work for have said, quit watching videos and just get out there and do it. So I've been trying to do that. My first question is why you can't be logged into DealDriven on your phone and your computer at the same time.
Okay. That what that's doing is that's stopping somebody from giving their login out multiple times.
So is there a way to make it so you can do that? Like
Not really simultaneously, but I mean, log out. I'm trying to figure out when you would need the application to run simultaneously.
Well, I was using my phone to text. I couldn't figure, I'm not super technology savvy. I'm okay, but I was having an issue trying to connect the thing to text from the computer. So I was like, I'm just going to get these out there, and got on my phone. And so I just started texting from my phone, even though it was going to be my personal number. But trying to go back and forth and keep track of it. So I have a suggestion there too. If there's any way, like, you guys could make the leads numbered, because I'm having a hard time. I do like 25 or 40 text at a sitting, and then it takes me 15 minutes to get back to where I was to figure out,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And so if they were numbered, you could go, okay, I quit at 115. You're looking at the computer, where you're at on the phone. If they were all like,
Maybe it would be easier for you if you exported it into Excel.
Okay.
So if you were to export that whole list into Excel, then you wouldn't have that problem. But I'll definitely take those suggestions. I really appreciate it, Donna.
And then, so like, do most people do that? Like for texting and calling, do they export it into a different program, or?
I do. So this is a data source. What you're looking for is more of a CRM. So you would export the data and import it into like a software that does automatic text messaging, emails, the whole 9 yards.
Okay. Can I ask which one you use, or you're not allowed to say?
I use a GHL, Go High Level.
Okay.
Pipe Drive, Podio. I mean, there's literally just Google CRM.
Okay.
For
So
real
you guys
estate investors.
you guys don't have a CRM program at all connected to this stuff. Is that coming?
To DealDriven, no.
Okay. So I guess that answers the question. Like, if there was a way to mass text, so you could mass text if you did it in a CRM.
Yes, or inside of like Twilio or something like that.
Okay.
Because basically 2 separate softwares, and even if I was going to do that at DealDriven, I'd have to charge for it.
Okay.
Because every text costs money. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. And like, what do you do when you get a response of there's no phone number? When there's no phone number connected, that's when you would send a card or something. Like, you can't, if you guys don't find it through, and this, I'm just using the free skip tracing that comes with our account. If you guys don't come up with a number there, like, should you pay to skip trace it? Are there different numbers that come up if you pay to skip trace it? Or
sometimes, but very rarely. I wouldn't say that the cost is over. I don't know that I would do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's so close. Now, if I'm doing driving for dollars or pre-foreclosures, though, I may go the extra mile.
Okay. And then what do you do when someone sends you the message back, stop or no? Like, how do you take them completely out of do you just take them completely out of your system, or is there a way to flag them so if I do another list, I don't get them again?
That's what the CRM is for, though. Okay. Because, like, think of DealDriven as like a data software.
Okay.
You need a calling and texting platform.
Okay.
So like inside of a CRM, you'd be able to say, do not disturb, or like, this is a do not call.
Okay. So then I would just put that to keep it from coming up again in yours. Don't delete it. Just put in the notes, do not call. Or
you would do that inside of a CRM. So you're like, don't think of this as one or all around thing. One is to get data and one is to handle your phone calls. All the stuff you're talking about would be done through the phone call thing.
Okay, so I would leave. I just want to make sure I completely understand. I understand like exporting the data and then you would keep track of that.
Hey,
in that,
Donna,
but
are you a partner at DealDriven?
yes.
I want you to email support and tell them that you would like to get on Deal Engine.
Okay.
This is a DealDriven call for just the software, but I'll get you free software for the CRM. Just email my support team.
Awesome. Okay.
You'll just have to pay for Twilio, which is the phone number and the text messaging. So I'll give you a free CRM. Just email my support.
You're the best. And I do love you, by the way. I love watching your Facebook things, and I
You
really
didn't even
appreciate
say
you.
that till I gave you something, Donna. I'm just kidding.
Well, I don't know. I thought maybe it'd be weird if I said it at the beginning, but yeah, I
No,
really
I'm just
admire
kidding
you,
with you, hun.
and I think you and Peter make it. I mean, it's actually my bosses that are doing this. I just do all the work. They pay for it, and I do all the work for them.
Yeah.
But they've done some other programs, and I think you guys are by far like the most relatable and most down to earth. So I've contacted about 150 to 175 leads through text messaging, because I just figured if I went through and I text messaged everybody that I had the text message number, hopefully I get a few people calling me before I sat and then called through all the rest of them.
When you get the CRM, you're going to be able to call that many in a day, because I'm just going to give you a dialer system.
Okay. But anyway, out of it, I've got like one person that told me to call back next week, and then I got a person that told me to call back, and the house is like crazy amazing. Like I had a lot of people saying, oh, yeah, if you give me $1 million, and then I would Zillow it and it's like worth 250, but
Yeah.
One guy said, well, what are you, he said no at first. And then I said, well, thanks for responding. I appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. And then they said, well, what would you offer? And I looked up their house and it was worth over $1 million. So I just was like real, because I feel like you're very real. And I was just like, well, if you'd been like the other 5 people that had told me their house was worth $1 million and it was really worth 250, I couldn't do that. But I'm looking at your house and I think you could definitely get over $1 million. And he was like, okay, because he'd only bought it like a year ago. But we have another person on our team who's a real estate agent. And so she went to the appointment, and because we told him we have several exit strategies, and she went to the appointment and worked with them, and we're probably going to get the listing for 1.2 million.
Well, good job. Heck, that's worth it right there, Donna.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, yes, and so I guess that's another question I have. Like everything that you've talked about, like in all the videos and stuff that I've watched, you like talk about, like you make the appointment. Do you, and you probably don't now because you're so far into it and stuff, but when you did it, you made the appointment and you went on the actual listing, the appointment with the person. Do you recommend?
By the way, Donna, I still do it. I mean, this is my favorite thing in the world to do. I love going on appointments.
I can see that. I think we have very similar personalities.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm like, I don't have my camera on because I have my hair back in a ponytail, but I probably look.
Hey, look at me too. Mine's all, I'm like sitting on my back porch today.
That's awesome. I live in Ohio, so that's not quite possible yet. But
yeah.
Anyway,
yes, I would go on the appointment, right? So the first thing is, and the next thing you're going to hear in that scenario is somebody will say, well, I don't want you to come out there until you give me an offer. Have you heard that yet?
On my previous programs that I've done, not on this one.
If you run across that again, I want you to say this.
Okay.
I'd love to make you an offer without seeing the property, but that'd be like me trying to buy a used car without looking under the hood.
Yeah, I remember you did. That's in one of the trainings.
So just push for those appointments.
Okay. So, but do you think it's bad because I actually we're targeting kind of the Columbus market. And so I live like an hour out of Columbus. So really like my job is to kind of hook them and then send someone else on the appointment? And if you do that, do you think that you should tell them? Like, I don't want it to seem like a big bait and switch, but then also it's like you're building that rapport. Like I said, I think my personality is a lot like yours. People feel comfortable with me talking to them. But then if I don't go on the appointment.
I mean, I think it's okay to be upfront and honest. This actually happened to me a week ago, or 2 weeks ago. I was in Los Angeles and I could not make the appointment. So I sent Stefan out there. And I literally told them, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it next week, but my buddy Stefan's going to come out.
And they were just okay with that.
We worked together. They were fine with it.
Okay.
It's like, you know, people could tell if you're lying or not. So as long as you're like, just be like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it, but so-and-so is, and they'll take good care of you, then that's really fine.
Okay. And do you recommend anybody using like VAs to do cold calling on these, or do you think it should be like someone like here, not like a VA?
I mean, I run a PD Max program where we use VAs all day long that makes 600 phone calls a day for our partners.
Okay.
So yes, however, if you're going to use a VA, the only thing is that you've got to be very, very careful and not just hiring them and let them run. They've got to be vetted. I mean, you're probably going to hire 4 people to wind up with one you like.
Okay.
So you're not just going to all of a sudden somebody's just going to fall out of the sky. It takes work to train them.
Right.
And then also like Marina's on here. She runs our PD Max program at DealDriven. We hire 4 to keep 1.
Okay.
Knowing we might put that many people to start with, and then the cream of the crop will rise.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll let somebody else talk. I feel like
awesome. Well, great questions, Donna. All right. RH Investments, LLC.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Perfect. All right. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to go.
You're really breaking up. I can't hear you.
Calculations again. You do a really neat thing, and every time I get off work and get a headspace and try to recreate, oh dear, I don't know what to do. Is that better?
Okay, yeah, a little bit better. So I think know.
It's my internet.
So you're wanting to know the number.
Hear me?
I can hear you now.
Uh-oh.
I can hear you. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Any questions about investing? How to use the app? If not, I'm going to show you, like, literally, guys, do not be sleeping on this opportunity, which is pre-foreclosures. Somebody give me a city and state in your area. I'm actually going to use Marina. She's on this call.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can. I'm going to finish doing this and I'll get back to you. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up.
I lost my connection. My apologies. Go ahead.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up pre-foreclosures in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm going to take Raleigh, North Carolina, 20-mile search radius. I'm actually going to look for notice of default with no auction dates. What does this mean? What this means is if they've been served a notice of default and or list pendants, but the auction has not been set yet. I'm telling you guys, do not sleep on this opportunity. You can help these people by buying their home prior to them losing it back to the bank. Okay. The best lead source you could possibly work right now, if you're flipping, if you're doing creative financing, I'm even going to look at single family homes, townhomes, duplex, triplex, quads with at least 40% equity or more. Here are 343 people that literally have not made the payments arrangements with the bank and have been served a notice of default. This is in every city across America. And I would truly focus on really working these particular leads, because no matter what you do, this is going to be a good lead source for you. But generally know that if you are buying these, you're probably going to have to pay to get the bank caught up. Okay. So you wouldn't be able to do creative financing with no money down or something like that. You could do a fix and flip. Or if you did creative financing, you're probably going to have to put some money down on those. All right, Nicole.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So when I'm looking at pre-foreclosures, I'm in South Carolina near the Beaufort, like in Beaufort County in the Low Country. And some of these properties have NOD dates or list pendants, but they don't have auction dates that are on them. So what happened there? Can we look at those properties, or
That's an even better
did they
lead.
just not go up for auction?
No. So as soon as somebody served the notice of default, the auction doesn't get set then.
Okay.
So actually the notice of defaults with no auction dates are a better lead to work in the first place.
Okay. I didn't know that. So I'll go back through that list and check it out.
Well,
Thank
because
you.
know that like once the auction date is set, they're probably behind 30 grand at that point in fees and interest. The quicker somebody sells to you from the notice of default date, the more money that they would walk away with. Because every
Right.
month they're tacking on, I mean, thousands of dollars in interest fees, attorney's fees, the whole 9 yards. So
Okay.
that's a good problem to have, actually, Nicole.
Yeah. Good. I love that. So I'll go back through those lists because I was kind of not putting them in, adding them in
You're breaking up, Nicole,
my
but
list because I wasn't sure what to do with that, but now I know.
yeah, those are your hot leads.
Thank you, Julie.
All right, Adam, you're welcome.
Yeah, my neighbor, he's on pre-foreclosure. I did that thing that you just said for my area. He's on pre-foreclosure, but it doesn't say like anything really. It just says the valuation and equity, which to me isn't nothing.
So
Like it's
we're,
nothing good.
well, it's not good if they've been served a notice of default.
Okay, so we don't have to go off the valuation because his valuation on his threeplex place is only $841.60. But it's a big house.
$841 or
Yeah,
thousand?
that's what it's saying. $841.
Okay,
It's
so
three-
is it a triplex?
Yeah, it's 8-bedroom, 4-bath.
Okay, so
No,
you're
9
not going to
bedroom.
be able to get like because it's a quad or a triplex rather. The valuations are based off of how much you can get in rent.
Okay.
So, but this is a dang good lead for you to call.
Yeah, I just don't want to like, I'm being my neighbor and the mayor of my village, well, ex-mayor. I don't know if it would be like a sore subject to try to chase that.
Well,
That's my only thing.
that'd be up to you. But what I would leverage is that you work with a company that specializes in helping people that are in pre-foreclosure.
Okay, but if we did end up getting it, that would mean he would have to move out, right?
Possibly, yeah. And I tell you, if he don't make the payments up, he's going to be forced to move out. And how embarrassing it's going to be when the sheriff comes and knocks the ex-mayor out of their house. It will happen.
Okay, so the best thing is just talk to him about it and see what we can do for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just get on the coach's room or whatever. But I mean, potentially that's a great deal.
Okay. I just don't want it to be hard feelings, me knowing that he's in foreclosure and potentially making him move out of his house.
By the way,
that's
just so you know, it's in the newspaper in your town. Everybody already knows.
Okay.
It's public record. It's not like it's some hidden thing that we get. The reason we get it is because it's public record.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll definitely talk to him about it. If I can help him, then I will.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say, you know, we'll be discreet about this, but I mean, I want to help you out, you know.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, RH Investments. I believe you're wanting to go over numbers.
Yes.
Okay.
I have the address. It's 5732 West 75th.
Hold on. 5732.
West 75th. And that is in Arvada, Colorado. Is my
All right.
connection better?
Yep. It's getting better. Let's see here. All right. So, have you talked to the seller on this one? What's the deal with this one?
Actually, I actually have an appointment this Saturday at 10 a.m. with him, and hopefully I can lock this in. His wife is out of town and she'll be back Saturday. So I'm just trying to get those numbers and do that cool little thing that you do where you can figure out what they might get, the seller might get.
Okay. So right now, because they're in pre-foreclosure, I don't know what they owe right now.
I thought I scrolled down and saw that.
You do, but what this doesn't account for is attorney's fees also.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed that they only owe $36,000. I bet you they've got a second mortgage or a line of credit.
Mm-hmm.
But how much work do you think it needs?
I'm gonna guess that it's probably gonna need. So I know that there's the really bad, the medium, and then the full gutting. I'm gonna say a full gutting, roof and all, just to start with.
If they're living there, it won't be a full gut.
Okay.
Let's go look at Google. I just don't want you to lose this deal because the numbers are too low.
Okay.
Let me go look at this house a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Here's the house. I want to go to Google too.
Okay.
I would say based off of DealDriven in this, your ARV is 540 on this house.
Okay.
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 So it was built in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull this up. It's got hardy plank and the bottom half is brick. The roof does not look bad at all.
Okay.
It's 1,600 square feet. I don't know without looking, but I'd probably say on an easy side, let's just give yourself, and say 50 grand.
Okay.
Okay. So let me share my calculator. So let's say that the ARV is 540. That's the after repairs. You're going to take 540 times 70%.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to just subtract subtract the 50 grand,
Okay.
you'll probably want to be at a purchase price around 330.
Okay. I'm writing this down. I'm listening.
So if it's anywhere around there, I would definitely go ahead and get it under contract. Also, make sure your contract has got both of their names on it. Let me show you, because they do not have marital names.
Mhm.
It's Miss Nelson and John Harlow.
Mhm.
The auction must have got pushed back, but they need to move very, very quickly.
Right. Okay. Okay. I think I've got it now.
Okay.
Yes, I appreciate
So
it. And
that, I know you're wholesaling, so that should give you enough profit for you to make some money on that.
nice. And I'm with Donna. I love you too. I love your energy. I love the fact that you guys take each week to do this. It's so helpful. And I finally
thank
have my first appointment. So thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Yeah, this Saturday at 10. Wish me luck. Hopefully next Thursday I'll be reporting. I have one under contract.
I can't wait to hear it.
Me too. Thank you so much.
You're
You guys have a
welcome.
great day. Bye.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Marcia.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I don't know if you want to talk about this or not, but I've been listening to you and JP and Pete. And JP brought up a situation that he was in. He said he was working with a guy that owned a mortgage company, and the guy was giving him deals, and they were doing 80/20s, and the guy apparently was forgiving the 20s. I didn't understand what that was all about, but JP said that was, a real bad problem, that he didn't realize that he was getting into that situation. And I went, okay, I need to know about this. Can you answer that now, or
I don't know what JP's referring to. So like mortgage brokers were bringing him deals.
Yeah, he said it was several years ago, and that the guy was bringing him deals, but he was doing seconds for the 20, and then he forgave the 20, and that was illegal. So I'm like,
Okay. So I think what he was talking about is he was finding buyers for 100% financing.
Yeah.
This mortgage person was putting a second on the house for the 20%.
I think that's what he was talking about.
I mean, I would love to help you, but I have no clue what he's talking about.
Okay.
Probably if I heard him say it, JP, maybe I might get it, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's okay. I'll look into it further. I just didn't want to step into a trap like that either.
I'm also wondering if JP was selling the houses lease to own and was trying to get people a loan for the 20% to put down. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. We'd have to guess. Maybe I'll email him and ask him.
Yeah, he's a real sweet guy.
Yeah, he sure is. Yes. Thank you for all you do. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, Million.
Hey, Julie, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I actually have a question for you. So I'm looking at this piece of land, because I decided that I wanted to kind of work with land. And so I found the pieces in Simi Valley, and it's going for like 1.9. And it's been on market now for almost a year. So my thing is that I want to speak to the owner just to see if I can put it under contract. But I wanted to know, should I try to find a builder first before I get into something like that, before I price out for an assignment, or what should I do?
So number one, first, I would never look for, if you're trying to flip land, I wouldn't look for listed properties in the first place.
Okay.
However, generally with land, you've got to offer about half of what it's worth. We know it's not worth 1.9 because it ain't sold.
Right.
Also, how big's the property?
It is 1.69 acres.
So 1.5 acres.
Uh-huh.
Are the houses that are selling around there, are they worth like $1 million a piece?
No. I mean, Simeon's kind of growing
That's
right
why
now.
he's not selling it, because if you're looking at a builder needs to make 30% at minimum profit. So to buy a piece of land that you could probably split 2 ways, you'd have to build a house that was worth $1 million to make money on it.
Okay.
So if the houses around it aren't selling for that high, then somebody's not going to get their money back as a builder.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
You really, when you're flipping land, you've got to really think about like, okay, so if I'm the builder, what would I do here? So they've got to go over comps and stuff right now too. And with land right now, number one, financing for builders just fell out. This went up to 7.11% interest.
Okay.
And building materials have doubled.
Right.
Builders are not building as much right now.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you though, if you go on DealDriven, just search for raw land.
Okay.
In neighborhoods where there's already lots inside of a neighborhood.
Okay.
It's also better because there's water and sewer and power ran there. If you've got a raw piece of land that doesn't have those, you've got to bring those into that piece of land.
I didn't think about that. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why personally I like ones that are already in neighborhoods, because a lot of the infrastructure is already brought there. And by the way, land is beautiful for creative financing.
Okay.
Like I literally went under contract yesterday with a piece of land in Florida for $400 a month. That's it.
Wow. Okay.
No down payment, no nothing.
Okay, that's something to look into. Thank you.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, I'm not really a land investor. I just like it, like in places where I just want some. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying something because I'm in LA and it's so saturated.
I was there last week.
See, should have met up with me.
I
could have picked your brain.
I was at the LA Convention Center.
Wow.
Let me tell you what dumb thing. You know what dumb thing I did? I got on one of those rental scooters and went all the way from the convention center all the way to Hollywood on one of them scooters.
Did you have fun at least?
It was fun. I thought I was going to die a couple times, but it was a lot of fun.
Well, at least you did a Cali thing, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. But geez, the street that I lived on, the Airbnb I rented, I found like 30 houses just that I could see from where I was renting from.
Yeah.
So,
I know it's a lot of homes. We're getting ready to hit a big foreclosure is getting ready to hit really big out here. So that's what I was kind of listening to you speak to the other young lady about pre-foreclosures, which is something that makes me kind of nervous. But listening to you, I get more comfortable with it. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Julie, can I chime in on that for a second?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to point out to Million, you said that the land has been on the market for over a year and it hasn't sold. So a couple of things there. First, just like Julia said, that she will always go direct to owner and not from the MLS, right? When we buy the property, the same thing goes for land. If the land has been on the market for over a year, that number one, all of the investors and builders already look at it. So it's either overpriced or there is something might be wrong with it. And that's why has not sold yet. So just like Julia said, use the DealDriven app to pull your land or a houses and that better. And that way you can go direct to owner without being on the market. Because anything sits on the market more than 10 days, it's not a good deal. Everybody sees it. I hope that
Okay,
makes sense.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yes, Adam.
Yes, Julie, I did talk to him about it. How would I go about dealing with something like that, foreclosure?
Oh, you've already talked to him?
Yes, I just reached out to him and asked him if you want to have a chat about it. Told him I can help him and he's interested. I'm just trying to figure out what's a good way to go about it.
Okay.
So he has total loans of $68,200.
Adam, you're a partner, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how to look at the chat?
Yes.
I'm going to send you my cell phone number
Okay.
because not that anybody on here would do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look this up with you by ourselves.
Okay.
Because I might also, even though you're doing wholesaling and flipping, I may help you with a creative deal on this one.
Okay.
Did you get my number?
Yes.
Yeah, just text me and later this evening I'll be able to call you and we'll go over it, okay?
Okay. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Guys, that's what I'm talking about, taking action. Adam was like hung up on the call, made a call. So that's really exciting. Great job, Adam. All right, let's talk about, anybody have any more real estate investing questions?
I have a quick one. And hopefully it's related. It's just something I forgot to ask. When is the best time to call people? Like just cold calling your sellers to try to strike up a conversation.
Whenever you have time.
Okay. Sundays included.
Okay, but I said that as a joke, but I'll tell you the truth.
Okay.
I like between 4 and 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. Monday through
Okay.
Friday. I like 10 to 1 on Saturdays.
Okay.
Sundays I just don't do because that's a day of rest. Yeah.
Right. Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm in the Bible Belt and it would really offend people if I called them on Sunday.
Thank you, Lord. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. But everybody gets so caught up on that, but it's really whenever you have time. I mean, I've called people at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday and got a deal. I mean, it's, you've got to just work around what you can do right now.
Right. I got you. And I have purchased the training with you and Peter, and I tried to remember without going through the whole training modules, but I'm on the right track. So whenever I have time, I do want to exclude Sundays, but yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. Any other questions? Did somebody answer her on how I become a partner? In the chat, Chloe, can you give her a link?
Yeah, I already sent it to her.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She's like, I'm on top of it. And by the way, Miss Chloe, when you're asking any questions to DealDriven, she's the person behind support.
Yep, it's me.
It's me. All right, guys. Well, if you don't have any more questions, then I am done for the day with this then. So bring your questions next week. Let's look at some properties. Let's look at your business. I'll at least give you advice from what I see and really kind of help get you to that next level. But we appreciate it here at DealDriven that you are a part of our software, and we thank you for your business. Have a great day. Bye-bye.